All right, so I've had a bunch of you asking for this one. Side by side, old Vice City versus new GTA 6's Vice City. What's actually different underneath all the graphics upgrade talk? And I gotta say, doing this breakdown, there's more going on here than I expected. It's not just same map, but prettier. Quick reset if you're new to this channel. I have 10 years experience in the gaming industry as a game developer, production side, some time at Epic. I'm not doing capture card gameplay here. I'm looking at this the way I'd look at a returning IP if I was on the team rebuilding it. So let's start with the original. 2002 Vice City, Tommy Vercetti. That map was 2 islands. That's it. The mainland and Vice Beach connected by bridges, and depending who you ask, there were 4 major ones linking them together. It was small even by the standards of its own era. You could cross the entire thing in a few minutes on a fast bike. Now here's the thing that's actually interesting to me as a dev. Rockstar isn't building a new city and slapping the Vice City name on it. They're rebuilding specific pieces of the original geography inside a much bigger state, Leonida. That's a completely different production problem than just make a bigger map. When you're doing a from-scratch open world, you have total freedom. When you're rebuilding a beloved location, every landmark you place is being compared frame by frame against a 20-year-old memory that fans have practically memorized. That's a harder job, not an easier one. So let's go through what's actually confirmed so far, landmark by landmark, and I'll tell you what I think each one signals from a production standpoint. Ocean Beach. In the original game, this was the Boardwalk District, home to the Ocean View Hotel, which was Tommy's very first safe house. In GTA 6 trailers, that hotel's visible again, dusk lit, still on the Art Deco strip, but the neon's been redone with a much more modern lighting pass. Ocean Drive itself, the beachfront strip, the layout in the new trailers lines up nearly block for block with the real-world Miami Street it was always based on. So what they've done here isn't reimagine Ocean Beach, it's re-referenced the same real-world source material Rockstar used in 2002, just with 20 more years of tool. Little Havana's back too, Cuban flags, cafe culture, the same neighborhood identity from the original. And Little Haiti, that one didn't exist as its own named district in the 2002 game the same way. So that's genuinely new ground, but it's built with the same real Miami neighborhood logic the rest of the map uses. The Malibu Club is one I want to flag specifically. In the original, that was Tommy's most profitable owned business, VIP nightclub, rooftop presence. It was actually inspired by the Babylon Club from Scarface, if you go back and look at where Rockstar pulled references from originally. If that comes back as an ownable business in GTA 6, that's not just a nostalgia nod. That tells you something about what systems they're planning to bring back too, not just what buildings look like. Now the bridges. This is a detail I actually love. The original 2-island structure, mainland and Vice Beach connected by bridges. That concept isn't gone, it's just been scaled up. We're now looking at a map with way more water crossings because the city itself is bigger, but the core idea of the city being broken into distinct islands you cross by bridge, that's a piece of the original DNA they kept on purpose. That's a design choice, not a technical like it was in 2002. Here's the biggest actual difference though, and it's not really about individual buildings, it's density. In the original Vice City, most of that map, once you got outside downtown, was pretty sparse. Wide streets, low building counts, because the hardware simply couldn't push more than that. What we're seeing in GTA 6 trailers is buildings with actual depth, multiple floors, backgrounds with crowd density the PS2 could never have rendered. So even in areas that are geographically the same footprint as the original, the amount of stuff Rockstar's putting into that same square mile has probably gone up by an order of magnitude. And that's honestly the real story here. It's not Vice City, but bigger. It's the same bones, the same real-world Miami reference points they used the first time, but every single one of those references now has budget behind it that literally didn't exist as an option in 2002. Back then, you built what the PS2 could push. Now, the limiting factor isn't the concept, it's how much detail you can justify spending time on before the CPU chokes, which, side note, is basically the same conversation we've been having about frame rate stuff. So my take, having gone through this isn't a remaster, it's not a reboot either. It's Rockstar going back to their own reference photos of Miami from over 20 years ago and rebuilding from those same photos with a completely different tool set. That's actually a harder creative discipline than building something new, because you're being graded against people's memories the entire time. time. If you spot a landmark I didn't cover here, drop it in the comments. There's a really active mapping community piecing this together block by block, and I read what you guys send me. Trailer 3's still expected soon. If we get more Vice Point or downtown footage, I'll do a part 2 on this.